This is a review video for Konosuba, episode 7, 8, 9, and 10, plus the OVA of the finale of Season 2. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction, and then come back here to see my full thoughts, these theories about these episodes, and my full thoughts of the series so far, and favorite bits, all that kind of stuff. So click away now, or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so joining me as always is Try. I did actually forget to hide the Discord until now, but that's fine. He was there. Fantastic end thing. I always say it was the main plot of the anime is just to defeat the Devil King or whatever. But they always get sidetracked at any turn, and oh geez. And they all get sidetracked, and then the generals always come to them, right? It's that happened with Wiz, that happened with well, the puppet guy, he was kind of a quest kind of thing. But the Doulahan was because of them, because they're blowing up his house or whatever. And he just came down to try to figure out why he was getting blown up every time. Then the squid guy, I can't remember his name. He was poisoning Aqua's church, basically. So Hans, or Hans, yeah. But yeah, so they always just appear to the group, right? Just doing normal everyday things, and all of a sudden oh look, there's a general, whatever. So and they all seem to be, except Hans, they all seem to be around the starting town, which is ridiculous. And then we figured out that in the OVA, at least, the one place they went to for the quest with the golems and everything, and the giant mechs and all that kind of stuff, that was the same guy. He was a human from Earth, and he had the power to make his memory reality. So yeah, I'm thinking about that too as well. The one with the really cool eyes. Her eyes were awesome looking. But yeah, so they always just what was I saying? The generals always just appear out of nowhere next to the village or whatever. Just doing random things. Wiz was sending souls to heaven or whatever. The puppet guy just wanted to die, really, in the dungeon, whatever. Then the Doulahan, I guess, just wanted to live out his life in solitude or something, or make his own dungeon. I don't remember what he wanted to do, but he was in his castle or whatever it was. He found the castle. He made it all full of his skeletons or whatever, I guess. And he was just living there. And that's when Megumin just started blowing it up, just every day, on the hour, pretty much, just every single day. So, and then Hans actually had a full-on quest, or whatever, internal quest for himself. He wanted to poison the water, so that way the whole church and everything will get hurt, whatever with that. When Wiz got super hardcore serious at when she figured out that the caretaker, the overseer, I can't remember what that overseer thing, when he was devoured by Hans, it's her whole motif just changed instantly. She was all kind of calm and kind of shy and whatever, not wanting to be aggressive or whatever. And then Hans was I ate him, whatever. And then just an explosion of magic from Wiz, and she just got dead freaking serious. That was super freaking cool. There was so many good moments in this episode, or these episodes, I should say. But yeah, the one thing I was mentioning before that I forgot about was in the OVA, that the guy that was running the place with the memory power or whatever, he was the one who ended up ripping his hair out because of all of his works weren't perfect or whatever, and he ended up leaving his building or whatever, and then going somewhere else where then he was hired to build a contraption or whatever to for. I can't remember why they built why he said they built it. I think they just wanted to or something like maybe a protector or I can't remember. Do you remember what they wanted the giant spider thing for? The fortress? Was it to live on, or was it to protect people, or was it just like do it because we can kind of thing? Like, do we remember? Do you know? Do I know? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, so the big metal golem, the robot basically that Megumin absolutely loved, which is hilarious. She or not he the giant beast thing, I guess, was rampaging through and just destroying things on his own because they weren't listening to the guy. Then all of the other golems that he made never listened to him one bit. So I'm interested to see if this like grand golem that they like freed from the cage or whatever, we think we're gonna see very much of it. We're probably never gonna see the golem again because I think Megumin blew it up. But I was wondering if that one was going to actually like well, we don't know because the guy's dead. But like, I was wondering if that one maybe perhaps might have listened to him, even though that one was like in a way like a sex bot or whatever. It was like a dominatrix bot or something like that. So I'm sure it wouldn't have listened to him because that was like pretty much what he wanted to do. He wanted to get whipped, I guess, or be tortured, or he became darkness in a way, and this bot was made for that kind of thing. So I'm sure Megumin destroyed the bot entirely, much to everyone's best wishes or whatever, because I'm sure Kazuma wanted that to happen because he didn't want to get whipped or whatever. He did. I love the quickness of like Kazuma's responses to everything. Like once he realized there was a fan of his, like his quick just like shift, right? Like he's like all of a sudden his whole like speech and just everything just switched to like just cool, just like he just gotta be cool. Just like every chance he has to be cool, he takes like immediately. Like we saw that in the first episode, right? Like when we first saw him in this new world, he in a way was role playing. Like he was taking the role of an adventurer, and then he just like got all super serious and he became talking to NPCs that way. Like the big guy with like the one guy who's always just out and around saying like cool stuff about them or whatever, like the welcome to hell or I can't remember what the guy was always talking about, but that guy, like when that was in the first episode when he was talking to him. But yeah, just like his quick wittiness just like all of a sudden just like switch just like from like craziness to just like super dead serious. Just like it's freaking hilarious. But there's so many good moments in these episodes. We're really really freaking cool. We had Aqua being a super badass, actually going up against Hans herself, or not going up against her but personally, but I should say not at first. She didn't go up to him at first. She went to go heal the water first, which in turn made it just hot water. It wasn't blessed hot water or whatever. So I'm actually wondering if there might have been like a compromise, like because like she can turn him into water, but she can't bless the water or whatever. But I'm wondering if holy water can be hot, like or something. Like, well, obviously, because they were using hot water, right? Purified hot water or whatever, in the springs. That was like the healing properties and everything. But it's weird that Aqua can't do that. It's weird that she can't make purified hot water. She can only make hot water. Because I think she's made purified water before. To my knowledge, she did when she was fighting the Doulahan. I think it was. Maybe that might have been just water. it could have just been water. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, it's interesting that all of her purification things just purifies it back to normal water. Um, she literally purifies the holiness of it and just like leaves it just water bare, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, so she was focusing on that. She was literally burning her hands, which I think in like it like adds to her character. Like she wanted to protect these people like badly because like obviously it's her worshippers, whatever. But um, they were adamant on just like a witch hunt against her, and then she just like just didn't want to kill them, didn't want to hurt them, whatever. She wanted to purify her followers, even though they did throw her out in a way. But it does add a lot of character to her, like that she wanted to literally burn her hands in order to purify the water or whatever. The water town looked so cool. Yeah, it did. It did. Um, the town was really cool. It was like kind of like in a valley with a couple like really cool rock spires in the middle between the towns and everything. The church was really cool looking. It looked like one of like the European churches or whatever, that kind of architecture. Um, and the really cool mountain of water just like kind of pooling off the top of it was really awesome looking. But yeah, the people definitely definitely made it like horrible, like horrible. The moment we saw Megumin after she left with Aqua, and Aqua went to go find the church, I guess. When we saw her like in like PTSD, like she was like like hunched over, like hugging herself in the corner, like I was just like, damn, like it got to her. But like even Hans was like on wits end, like he was literally going to go berserk, and like if he didn't do anything. Because like I'm guessing he's been dealing with this longer than anybody, or not longer than anybody, but like as longer than the main four people at least. Like Cosmo, Aqua, Megami, and Darkness, everything. I'm sure because he's been here for a while. It seemed like he I think that's what he said. Like I think he was saying he's been poisoning the water for a while. So he's been doing this for like a while, so that means he's been talking with these people so often, and all these like weird people trying to convert him and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you'd also think that by spouting all these things about being in a different church, they'd remember or spread the word to other people in the town, saying like they're not going to be converted, don't bother with these guys, because like I feel like the same people always came back to Kazuma, that we've seen previously, like the soap guy, um, the one guy who was apparently trying to attack the girl that was running away. um, all of them just kept coming back in one way or another, just to try to get them to convert and everything. Um, Also, the old lady who was selling stuff, just like random things. Um, all that stuff. It's just like they just kept popping up every once in a while, just to try it again, try it again, try it again, kind of thing. When the little girl showed up, I knew immediately that she was going to try to pull something that like to like get them to convert or whatever. But her ploy was to like scrape her knee on purpose, and then ask Kazuma how to spell his name and write it down. Like, that was so sneaky. But Darkness loved it, of course, because she's being harassed or stoned or whatever. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, I it was kind of interesting that Aqua was like so hell bent on helping. I mean, it's her people, I know. But like even after helping them through like a general like trying to kill them and everything, um, they still like hated her for what she did or whatever. I'm still not entirely sure. Did they ever say if the citizens knew that she was a goddess or not, or at the very end? I don't think they did. I think they just think of her as another person that helped, kind of thing. Just not a goddess, but just like an adventurer. Because I remember she was trying so hard to convince them, kind of thing. But they never saw through it, kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, so I mean, it sucks that not even like one person, right? Like not a single person in the entirety of the town believed that she was a goddess. Even Megumin in Darkness was saying like, "Why did you say that?" or whatever, like because they don't know either. Only Kazuma knows the truth, right? Like only he does. The whole bit too of when Aqua was inside the confession booth or whatever, I thought that was her hiding from her worshippers because they were either toying with them too much and she wanted to break, or whatever, or she uh, something. I was just kind of thinking like she was trying to hide, from her worshippers. Um, but it's pretty funny like what she was doing there. It's just like trying to like the last bit of like when that one guy showed up trying to say like the the statue or whatever was like making him uneasy or whatever, like funny feelings, and then she was like, "Don't worry about it. Large breast, short breast, or small breast doesn't matter." That was pretty funny. But at the very end, where it was like, I can't remember the other goddess's name. Um, Iris, I think. Was it Iris? Iris? Can't remember. Um, Iris. There you go. Uh, she's got a padded chest or she uses pads or something like that. The whole phrase was really funny though when she was like trying to spread that to everybody in the old church. That was really funny. But yeah, so I'm so glad they left the town. That was one thing I absolutely wanted to happen. I wanted them to leave the town, explore the world, explore new towns, new monsters, quests, higher level quests, that kind of thing. They just like go out of the starting town because because Axel is the starting town of like the game. Um, so having them just sit there and just do normal quests there, it's a never ending cycle because there's never going to be like uh they're never going to run out of quests. Like there's always going to be quests that like pop up like almost like daily events, or or weekly, monthly events, or randomly yearly occurring events that like pop up to like happen, like the runners, the frog runners, whatever. That was like a daily like a yearly thing, I think, not daily. The cabbage thing, that was a yearly thing as well. I was trying to remember something else. The big bosses that showed up, those were like kind of emergency quests that showed up. Um, so there's never going to be like a time where they're going to run out of quests. So they just have to leave the town and go somewhere else. At this point, Kazuma has so many freaking abilities. It's freaking awesome. He's so far. I don't know. Not sure if he keeps all of them, but we've seen him do ice and fire. We've seen him do the steel ability. We know he still has that because we saw at the very end where he was confronted by the or not confronted, but he was revealed that he was being played from the start from the one super fan of his. Um, he used the steel command there. But anyways, he was using steel, ice, fire. He uses snipe, which he does still keep, or he still uses, I should say. He does the shadow step thing where like he like kind of like sneaks away kind of thing like into the shadows. We know he can still do that because Aqua mentioned it before going into the dungeon, uh, castle palace thing, whatever, the ruins. um, and there was a couple other things that he was able to do. uh, he has water, yeah. Yeah, we saw that on the the bath scenes, I guess, when he was trying to mess with Megumin in Darkness when they were like they punched him through the wall or whatever. Um, so he got quite a lot of ability because like before when I was looking at their card, their player card, whatever, it looks like they only have a set number of slots to use, and they have to like burn up like a different slot in order to use something else, kind of thing. So I'm not sure if that's like exactly what it is, or you can have like as many as you want. It just kind of like goes down or goes to the other side of the card or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I just remember seeing like maybe like 5 or 6 different slots for like powers. So I'm not sure if he's just like I think he's probably given up ice and fire at this point. Um, like I said, he uses water, he uses steel, he uses the shadow step stealth ability. He uses what are the other ones we said? No, I can't remember. Trying to think. Hold on. Snipe. So he's probably got like 4 or 5 right now, which I think is like the amount that is the card has. So I don't know. And Megamine probably just has. I think she just has one, just like the explosion, and it's like that's all she has. Maybe some like stuff to amplify the explosion or whatever. But yeah. So I just want them to leave the town, get stronger, get better abilities, go out there and fight. But like all the generals just keep coming to them, which is really is really interesting. Have they said, by the way, Try, have they said how many generals there are total? At all in the show? Have they ever said anything about how many there are total? Or has it just been like the leaders or like the generals or something? 8? Alright. Yeah, so we've been through we've been through her, Hans. Yeah, Wiz, Hans, Papagai, Dulan. Dulahan, whatever. So that's 4. So that's 4 more. Potentially the girl in the hot spring was 1. Potentially. Her eyes did simplify demon. So potentially her as being one of them. So yeah, got about maybe 4 more to fight. And then the Devil King kind of thing. So 5 total, I guess. But if they just keep coming to them, there's no point to adventure out. Which that's one thing that I want them to do, because there's a whole world out there, and they're just in one town. Like it's so annoying. Vanner or Vanar, Vanir, Verdia, Verdia, Vanir. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it was cool that they left the city to go to somewhere else, even if it was just like a holiday thing or whatever. Like it was cool that they left. But also one of my big things that I wanted to see was the church, like Aqua's church, and we got to see that as well in like the same thing. So like that was really cool to see that. Sadly, not a single person in the entire town believed that she was who she said she was. So that sucks. Like I said, even just one person, like the overseer or whatever, just like somebody there that was part of the church, just like any one person, even though if everybody else doesn't believe, just one person believing that she was a goddess, like that would have been enough, I think, to strengthen like their worshipping, whatever towards her. Like if one person, like I said, because the overseer was like absorbed in Hans. So when they defeated Hans, I wonder if they revived him much the way they did to Kazuma, to bring him back, kind of thing. So if that was the case, then you'd think that everyone would be like, she is a goddess, just she brought the overseer back to life, or whatever, or he, at least he thought that, like, because he's dead or whatever. So I'm wondering if oh gosh, I'm wondering if anyone would have gone to her side, because like in this world, reviving is an ability. It's not like a magical thing. Basically, the magical sense of Aqua is her God's Requiem and her fist thing, whatever. I can't remember what her fist was said. What was her first like fist ability? The one that she always tries to use, but it always bounces off or doesn't work. God's fist. There you go. Sorry, I forgot about the God's thing. Yeah, so it was God's fist and then God's Requiem. So and the Requiem's a new thing. And like the final episode, it was like kind of thing, and then she used it again in the OVA. But yeah, it's cool that she's like in a way like enhancing her like God's ability kind of thing. But it's pretty cool. But yeah, so like I said, like her revive thing is probably just a skill in the the world game thing, whatever. So I guess her reviving somebody wouldn't be like awestruck or awe-empowering or like, just, oh my god, you can do that kind of thing. Like, it's probably just a normal thing that priests can do or whatever. Um, so, and yeah, I would think seeing her do God's Requiem, like, of charging up her fist as everybody in the entire area is like chanting, just help out or whatever, or praying, I guess it would be, to like charge her fists. Like, you'd think like everyone would see that and be like, we're actually doing she is a goddess, or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just wanted one person to believe that she was who she said she was, kind of thing. But at last, nobody believes it. So for right now, Kazuma and Aqua are the only two people who know that she is truly who she says she is, because they mentioned it to Megumin. I think they mentioned it to Megumin and Darkness, but them two both just kind of shrugged it off, like, why you're lying, or whatever, something like that. So not even them know. So yeah. Also, no, actually, no. Scratch that. Hans knew. Hans knew that she was a goddess. At the very end, right when she punched him with God's Requiem, that was when he was like, she's, she's a goddess, kind of thing, like, whatever. When he was dying, he said that. Poor Wiz. Like, every time Wiz was, like, healed up, she would almost die again. Like, she was always on the verge of death, like, the entirety of these episodes. She died because the puppeteer guy burned her alive or something like that, or whatever. So she was almost dead. So they brought her to the place to get healed or whatever, and then Aqua just kept crying on her to killing her in a way, and just like all of that, just like she kept dying over and over and over again on the verge of death, just like she's like literally on the verge, like she's on the beachfront of death, and there's like a river between her and like the afterlife, and like there's on the other side is the Adulahan, like saying like, come to me, whatever. Like, that was dark, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty hard on Wiz, for sure. Um, yeah, like when they brought her back, like, in worse wear, like, almost, because she left all burnt up and she came back almost like dissolved, whatever, like faded away. Um, I did love the episode where they were on the travel to the hot spring city. All of the occurrences that started happening because of their party, like Darkness's armor and Aqua's just sense, God sense or whatever, luring monsters to them, kind of thing, and everyone thinking they're like, it's like, oh, thank you so much for saving. It's like, it's because of us that we that we had to do this. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool bits. Really loved a lot of bits, but like I said, the main bit that I loved the most was Aqua's selflessness when it came to trying to heal the water because it was being poisoned and everything. That was a really cool moment for me, for Aqua. For Kazuma, I really felt for him after the OVA, when it was revealed that they were just messing with him, trying to get them to do more stuff, kind of thing. Like, that was hard, like, on Kazuma. Megumin, was there anything big on Megumin these episodes? I guess having to kill the robot, in the OVA, that was one thing that she didn't want to do. As well as being in like a PTSD almost in the town when people were trying to like convert them and everything. There's a couple other bits that came about where she just did not want to do anything, or it was hard for her to do whatever. Darkness as well. Here and there. I feel like these episodes were pretty Darkness light. It was like everything went her way in a way. Like the monsters toying with her, or the runners, whatever, the monsters that were like chasing after Darkness, basically. They were jumping over her, I guess, and I don't remember why they were doing that. Was it revealed why they ran up to Darkness and then jumped over and then turn around and do it again, kind of thing. Like, why were they jumping over her and not like hitting her or like just like hurting her? They were just like attracted to her, or was it they run at hard things and dodge last second? Yeah, her armor is attracted. But why though? That's so weird. Anyways, it's monsters. Anyways, yeah. So, these episodes were pretty light on Darkness not being like sad or whatever. A lot of stuff went her way. Like she was getting stoned in the streets of the city, and she loved it. She was front attention of the runners attacking them. She loved it. She was being attacked, like literally, like like flicked, like almost like to death, kind of in a way, not really to death, but just like flicked over and over again. And obviously she loved it. So these episodes did go darkness in a way, like everything came up darkness. Whereas everybody else had like a horrible time, just like they hated it, kind of thing, or something experience or whatever. They do it in the heated moment to oppress the females. Oh, okay. I guess that makes some sense, yeah. I mean, it's just like the runners, basically the little lizard people just running, just like following the queen. Like, why is the queen running? Who knows? And it's like, it's monsters. So, yeah, I loved it. I think it was really cool. Try real quick. I'm going to ask you this so you can be on camera too. Oh my god. I'm actually lower this because my screen's a little... I'll put it right there. I'm going to ask you this while I also say it to everybody as well. But what was your favorite part of this season? And that kind of thing. Your favorite character, that as well. So yeah, so if you guys want to talk to me in the comments below, I am done with the second season, as you know. But season 3 is coming, I guess, soonish. So when that starts up again, I will pick it up on my channel, and I will continue on and do season 3 as it comes out and all that kind of stuff. Since I'm watching it subbed, going into it subbed like immediately is fine. So once it comes up again, I will so do that. Let me know down below in the comments below what your favorite moment is and your favorite characters and all kind of stuff. Did your favorite character change throughout the season or series, I should say? Or did your favorite moment change throughout the season? I think my favorite moment of this season 2 was all the big explosion bits, like Megumin exploding like a nuke, basically. Like, that was really freaking cool. This season, I would have to probably say God's Requiem or, whatever like that. Like, just like a big, like, shiny, like, fist attack, kind of thing. Like, that was really cool for me. Favorite character for me is probably Megumin, because I love her explosions. Everything is really cool. So, yeah, Trial really likes the fight against Veneer. I like Veneer a lot, but my favorite character is probably Kazuma. Kazuma's really cool, yeah. It's not often main character, it's pretty scummy. That is true, it's very scummy. Yeah, Kazuma's pretty up there on my list of favorites. I like his randomness. Like, you're just coming in and go like, yes, I am Kazuma. Or something like that. Like, his little tiny quirks, like, he puts into, if someone's talking or whatever, he just talks over them, but in the background. Like, that happened a lot in these episodes, too, where, like, people were, like, I think it was Darkness talking about her armor or whatever, and as she's talking... Cosmo's in the background, literally in the background, like he's on a cart or something like that, and he's like talking to her, like, like very short, or maybe it was Aqua. I think it was that episode when that happened. Anyways, it happened a lot, and I love that about Cosmo. But yeah, overall, I do really like Megumin, and I really love Aqua as well. When Aqua was, oh, this is a GIF, isn't it? Is it a GIF? Oh, yeah, there it is. I had to like focus on Discord in order for that to actually play. But yeah, I like Megumin and like Aqua. I like Aqua mainly because of just how, like, in a way, like, forgetfulness that she is. Like, she just like always forgets stuff or whatever. makes total sense that her character chart or whatever is like low intelligence because she just forgets things constantly, but can be easily swayed to like help out kind of thing. But that goes to everybody. Like Megumin can be easily swayed by saying that she's weak or she wants to prove herself kind of thing. Darkness can be swayed by saying it hurts a lot. And Aqua can be swayed by saying there's no profit in it for you, or something like that. Like there's not going to be no money for you if I do this kind of thing. So she's like, all right, let's go, and then she's like goes in kind of thing. Like so they can all be swayed. I think Cosma can be swayed if it's a woman in trouble, or what other things would he be swayed for? There was something that he was swayed for last week's episode. I can't remember what it was. There was something that they were trying to make him do. Because he was like underneath the table. Oh, that was when he just threw him out, right? That was right. Okay. I was trying to think of like how they managed to get him out of the table. And I thought they swayed him to get out of it, but no, they just threw him out of the house. But I'm sure he could be swayed with anything, really. Just like a pretty girl, just like who's like in trouble or whatever. Like that whole like like I said at the beginning of this redirect when I was saying how he can just like turn face, basically like hardcore straight face to like talk like a cool person or whatever. Like that's kind of like his weakness is like that those kind of scenarios. But yeah. It was really fun. This is a cool series. I really did enjoy it. The art style is incredible. I freaking love it. The battle sequences are really fun. I do wish in later episodes they add more abilities, because so far we've seen like Megumin's explosions 10 times over, right? We've seen it all the time. It's cool every time, but like it'll be really cool to see different big spells. Like we saw Wiz do the ice ring thing. That was really cool. But stuff like that, like just like a big spell like the explosion or the nuke or whatever, just that magnitude of like destruction, just like in different elements. So like lightning or fire, or just, I guess I guess a giant like nuke is fire, but ice or water, or something like that, just like some massive elemental explosion to some degree would be cool. But the art style is really, really cool. I do wish we get to see some really, really cool things. Union? I forgot who Union is. Crap. That's right. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about her. I also liked how she was at the mansion every day, waiting for him to come back, and just like that's really funny. But yeah, her attack was very, very cool. That was the first time we actually see something different in the show for a while. But yeah, Aqua does have a ton of really cool abilities that she can do, like God's Fist and God's Requiem, and her water spells, and that one spell that she did to break the shield around the fortress. That spell, like that was freaking cool. That sort of stuff. Like I would love to see more of that, more cool, flashy spells that were like really freaking badass. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I think that's it. Is there anything more I need to talk about before I leave Try? I think I covered most, if not all. Probably not all, but most of these episodes. Is there anything I need to talk about? Yeah. season 3 soon, hopefully. Like I said, when season 3 does pop up again, I will for sure add it immediately and start watching it right away. Same goes with any other show that I do in the past that comes about, like My Hero Academia is going to be coming up. I'm going to be watching that right away because during the dub as well, kind of thing, at the same time as the subbed, which it'll then be pushed back probably after a while after that. But that same thing goes with any other show. JoJo's coming back as well. So like any show that comes back, I'm just going to add it to my list immediately and start watching it. So Yeah, my channel is definitely going to have a lot of freaking content. But if I go week to week, it should be just one episode, right? Like if I wait like 2 weeks, it would sort of like add up. But it's just one episode of each show a week, plus the three main shows that I do. So it might become a habit for me to actually devote a single day to like these one episode reactions kind of thing. So like Friday, for instance, or whatever, or Monday. So you might see that like in a way. Like once I watch the episode, I hold off uploading it until like a certain day of the week, so that way you get like a match up like all the one episodes if they're all happening at the same time, which they probably will. So look out for that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in one of my many other shows. Also, if you're watching this right now of day of upload, whatever, on Friday for YouTube or yeah, guys. I guess you can only watch this on Friday because this video doesn't go up for Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube the day of release on Friday, there is a poll currently going on to vote for the next show. So if you want to vote for the next show and see all the new stuff, everything, and make sure the show that you want is picked next, go into Patreon. Use my voice, Jesus Christ. Go into Patreon and vote for the $1 amount, the one tier, tier 1, whatever, and vote for the show that you want to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in one of my many other shows. Take care, bye.